Does that mean that you'll wear a wedding dress to our funerals? Jill asked as she phoned Christine's head. Deal, Kara said, sticking out her hand. The three of us shook hands and laughed. In no time at all, Christine was as bald as us. There we were, the three bald-headed musketeers. The floor looked like a calico cat. Christine's blonde hair, Kara's deep brown hair, and strands of Jill's light brown hair, all mixed together. When the nurse came in to bring her lunch, she gasped, "What in Sam Hill happened here?" The silver-haired nurse looked at the mess on the bathroom floor and our bald heads as they shined in the bathroom light. "Come on out of there before you slip on that stuff." She grabbed Jill's hand and led her out of there. "Don't worry, Rose, we're fine." "I'm fine, and we've been having so much fun." Jill sniffed the air. "Ooh, meatloaf, potatoes, and green beans. The only decent-smelling food in this place." "I'll be back with the broom," Rose said as she left the room. Kara pulled out her phone and held it up. "Smile!" And together we all said, "Kimchi!" and heard the click of the camera as it solidified our images for posterity. Rose came back with the broom and shook her head. "You three are troublemakers. I knew it from the start." "Oh, Rose, I've been in and out of this hospital for 3 years. You've grown to like me, and you know it." "Like you? That depends on how many other messes you three are planning to leave for me." She took the trash can with her, too, and went about her other duties. After a while, another nurse brought in a new trash can, doing a double take before leaving. It made us all laugh from the look on her face. As the months went by, with Jill being in the hospital, a new but familiar face began appearing in the cafeteria. He was handsome, with facial features like Leonardo DiCaprio between his Titanic and his Great Gatsby days. His face was slender, and his hair reminded me of Patrick Wilson from The Conjuring 2, my favorite horror movie. It had a comb-to-the-side look on top and on the top and the sides, and they all met up with the sideburns on the side of his head. His eyes were the deepest green I'd ever seen, much like emeralds. He was holding onto his coffee cup so tightly, as if he didn't know what else to do with his hands. His face looked like he was trying not to cry. I came over hoping I was not intruding. "I'm sorry to bother you, but you look like you're upset." "To tell you the truth, I don't know what I am feeling right now. She just had a fever last night, and it went away this morning, so I took her to school. And in her homeroom, the teacher said she looked like she'd seen a ghost. Her gym teacher said she wasn't able to do simple walking tasks. And then her friend helped her to the bathroom because she looked like she was going to fall over. And when she started throwing up, her friend ran to the nurse's station and flagged her down. The nurse told me she needed to go to the hospital immediately. I'm so scared right now because she lost her mom when she was 1 to cancer, and I don't want to lose her." He couldn't contain it anymore. His hands went up to his face, and he began to sob. I sat down and offered my hand for the taking. Not sure whether to take my hand or not, he opted just to hold his coffee again. "I don't even understand what the doctor said. Ashley, my daughter, she calls it melting Barbie doll syndrome." He briefly laughed. "Oh, I called my cancer that too once." "You had cancer?" "Yeah, 6 years ago this May." "What did you have?" "Myelodysplastic syndrome." "That's what she has too." He slid his coffee to the side. "How did my daughter get cancer?" "How? Can somebody please explain this to me? How does my 9-year-old daughter get cancer? She hasn't even had her..." "Sorry, I'm talking so much and I barely know you." "It's all right. I peer support people for a living. I'm Kara." "Nice to meet you. I'm Sam." All of a sudden, his phone rang and he jumped 2 feet. "Hey, Pumpkin, how are you?" He listened for a bit. I'm sorry you were scared. I didn't want to disturb you, but I'll be there in a bit. I'm headed to 603 to see my friend Jill, so I'll see you around. 603? I'm in 604. Can I walk you to the room? Sure. We gathered our things and talked all the way to the room, and by the time we arrived at our rooms, we had exchanged numbers. As he enters his room, I look over at his room, wondering what his favorite color is, his favorite movie, his favorite song. How does he like his coffee, and did he think I was cute? I hope my conversation with him doesn't make me seem like one of those girls who flirtatiously goes after every guy who comes around just because they need a guy. That wasn't my intention at all. I said he was welcome to call me and talk if he had cancer concerns or needed support. Was that a desperate attempt to get him to like me? As I stared at the room, I feel a hand on my shoulder. I jump. I'm sorry, but smoke was coming out of your brain as it tried to think, and I just thought I should stop you. Jill's throat was scratchy like a person with a cold. I finally got dressed. The nurse said that they're putting in a catheter tomorrow. I decided I wanted to get out and enjoy my freedom one last time. Let's go to the gift shop. So I slowly but steadily headed to the gift shop. The hospital gift shop was your typical hospital-related, had your typical hospital-related items. New baby items, cards, candy, soda pop, and interesting knickknacks that you didn't even know existed. Jill was putting in her cart everything she saw, including 7 chocolate bars. My taste buds are almost gone, she said when I noticed what was in her basket. I'm 25, and I have a right to eat chocolate. I also want to have another donut. She put a bottle of Sprite into her basket, and then a bottle of Coca-Cola. I can't take this anymore. I'm tired of feeling like I'm in a boot camp. People doing things for me because they don't trust me to get it done. It's driving me crazy. The stupid nurse who won't leave until I take my pills because she doesn't think I'll do it. What am I for? I don't like any of this stuff that's going on. I don't want cancer or leukemia. All this stuff is just going to be more boot campy. Just for rebellion's sake, she threw a few more chocolate items in her basket and a couple more Cokes in her basket. After she was done, I pat her on the back. You're absolutely right. You have the right to eat what you want. As I look around the gift shop, I notice a dog similar to my dog Bowser I had when I was in the hospital. I think of Ashley. A little dog like that made it easier to get through the rough times. I know she's going to like it. As we leave the gift shop without purchases, we head towards the cafeteria. I can smell them, she said. So fresh, so piping hot. You really need to sue your nose. I know, it's such a waste. As we peruse the sweets in the cafeteria, all of a sudden her legs give out and she lands on the floor. A nurse who was having lunch runs over to her. Are you all right, miss? My legs are too heavy to lift. I run to find a wheelchair and don't see any. I'm worried for my friend, and I can hear my heartbeat in my ear. I'm sweating and breathing heavy. Can I help you, miss? I need a wheelchair for my friend who has collapsed in the cafeteria. I'll find one right away. It feels like an eternity as we wait for the chair. When it arrives, the nurse helps her in it, and with a sigh of frustration, she replies, Room 603. She has her fist supporting her tilted head, and her mouth is pouty and upset. When we arrive back in the room, the nurse makes sure she gets in bed, okay, and folds up the chair and sets it against the wall. The hospital burglar has been caught. She starts to smirk a little. You remember that? The dark purple hat, the light purple penguin pajama top, and the pink turtle PJ bottoms. You had that plastic trash bag that looked like you had robbed a bank. That was so funny. Hey, you were one to talk. You had that hair that was half baby boy blue, half baby girl pink. It looked like a gender reveal party request. Now she was laughing with a slight cough. You were doing more thinking out there than earlier. You had a smile going. I've seen that smile 4 times. Keith, Gordon, Jesse, and Trent. She raised her eyebrows. What's number 5's name? Well, his initial are NYOB. NYOB, come on, don't leave me in the lurch. I am an only child who has to know these things. Jill said with pleading eagerness, Is he cute at least? He's next door if you must see him. His wife is sick, huh? No, she's dead. It's his daughter that's there. So, is Daddy cute? You have to tell me. No, I don't. You're so nosy. That's part of my charm. I'm going to give his daughter this, and I'll be right back. Ask him on a date. No, we just met. So? There are people on Lifetime who get married at first sight. I'm not marrying him. I'm just delivering a gift. Ask him to send me a pic. You are bad. Tell him your best friend is dying of cancer and her last request is to see a picture of a handsome man. You behave yourself. I'll be back.